Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me once again. Pakistan played 4-1-2, lost 2. So they've won 2 matches against the lesser opponents, with all due respect, and lost to India and Australia. I think most Pakistani fans will have expected this situation at this stage of the tournament. Some big games to come also as well. So let's begin with the Australia game, starting with the toss. I was actually surprised that Babar Azam bowled first, putting the opposition in on a flat track, ideal conditions for batting, lovely surface, small boundaries, fast outfields. You win the toss, you've got to bat first. You've got to have faith in those players that you've selected, those top 6 batters, to go out there and bat the bulk of the 50 overs, put a big total, 350 plus, up against Australia, put them under pressure because their batting hadn't been firing on all cylinders. What you do is you win the toss, you put them in, you give them that advantage of putting the runs up on the board and putting yourselves under pressure. Strange decision in my opinion. And then no early wickets. Can't blame the bowlers for that largely. Shaheen Shafidi could have had Warner out on 10. Absolute dolly of a catch, which I haven't played cricket for a long time, but I think I could have taken that catch. Usama Mir had a shocker, didn't he? Cost Pakistan 153 runs. Not 53 runs, 153 runs. Absolutely awful. Pakistan's fielding against Australia, to be honest with you, I know they've shown signs of improvement recently, but it was just club level. Backing up wasn't there. Poor throwing, poor catching. Ground fielding was poor as well. The body language, absolutely awful. It's almost as if they don't want to be out there. You've got that Pakistan star on your shirt, on your caps. Go out there and do your best. But, hands on hips, heads shaking, absolutely awful body language. And it needs to improve. And then, they pulled it back at the end there. They took wickets. Haris Rauf and Shaheen Shafii, they did well in those last 7 overs or so. Excuse me. And yet they pulled it back 42 runs, I think Australia scored in those last 7 overs. And they took wickets. But by then, the damage was done. What's the point in getting those wickets at the end? You needed wickets at the start of the innings. And unfortunately, it just didn't happen. So there you had it. Were Pakistan going to chase that total down? They did their best. They tried hard. They got off to a good start. But realistically, looking at that batting order with Mohammad Nawaz coming in at number 7, and, I'm not having a go at him, but you look at that top 6 and you think, where is that person who's going to score 100 off 60, 70 balls? Where's that person who's going to play that sort of Rohit Sharma or a Henrik Klaassen type innings? Where's that person who's going to blast the ball into all parts in that lineup? Just don't see it. We've got some plodders. We've got some players who'll score, run a ball, who'll look okay batting first. But when you're chasing that sort of total, Pakistan just doesn't have that batting firepower to go in there and chase that sort of total down. And unfortunately, they fell short. The approach by the Pakistani batters, as I say, they started well, but the problem you've got is that they just haven't got those big hitters. They haven't got those players who can come in and smash the ball into all parts and put the pressure on the opposition, put the opposition captain and the bowlers under pressure. And it was only going to end one way, really, that match, wasn't it? As I say, other teams have changed their approach. The likes of South Africa, the likes of Australia, India, New Zealand, they come in and they blast the bowling to all parts from ball one. And, it doesn't matter whether they've lost 1 wicket or 2 wickets or 3 wickets, they will continue to attack the opposition. As soon as we lose a wicket, Pakistan, that's it. They go in the shells, they start rebuilding. Or, we don't want to lose any more wickets. Let's just play it around. Let's milk the bowling for singles. Come on, this is 2023. We're still playing cricket as if it's the 1992 World Cup. We're still playing cricket as if it's the 1990s. You've got to change your approach. Have Pakistan got the players to change that approach? I don't think they have, because this is the way they've been playing, unless they absolutely have to, like they did against Sri Lanka. They had to change the approach. But you know, that Sri Lankan bowling attack, let's be honest about it, is probably the weakest in this tournament. They're missing so many first choice bowlers. Looking at the numbers, you know, the strike rates of the Pakistani batters so far in the 4 games, you're looking at a strike rate of about high 80s, somewhere in the 90s. Babar Azam himself is a strike rate of 79, which is just not good enough. He's one of the world's best batters. He scored about 80 runs in 4 innings. So the heat is on him in terms of his captaincy, which I think has been extremely poor so far, and also his batting. Too good a player to fail throughout the tournament. Pakistan rely on him very heavily, but he needs to up his game in terms of batting and captaincy, I think. Iftikhar Ahmed has a high strike rate of 135, but his average is 20. So it's that combination of having that high strike rate and the high average. There's no point having a strike rate of 150 if you're only averaging 15. Makes no sense. It defeats the whole object. And you know, I don't want to keep on comparing Pakistan to other teams, but you know, the other teams have in their top 6, they've got 2 or 3 batters who are, you know, they're dynamite. They can go out there and blast the opposition to all parts of the ground. They can change the course of a game in the matter of a few overs. Have Pakistan got those type of batters? Have Pakistan got a single batter who can do that sort of thing, who can change the course of a game? No, they haven't, because their top 6 is very, very similar. Yeah, we might have a couple of left-handers, we've got right-handers, but by and large, these are guys who will not win you games when the going is tough and the opposition is strong and a high strike rate and quick batting is needed. So, as I say, you know, we're playing cricket as if it's still in the 1990s, one-day cricket. But cricket has moved on. Other teams have moved on. They've changed their approach. They've changed the way they bat. And sadly, we're still stuck in the way cricket was played 30 years ago. Looking ahead, it's not looking good, is it? I mean, Afghanistan coming up on Monday, that will be a tough match in conditions that will suit Afghanistan. They'll play their spinners, high quality spinners. Pakistan struggle against spin. So it's all set up for a probably a nail-biting match for Pakistan. Hopefully they'll come through it. Can they turn it around? I mean, looking at their other fixtures, they've got New Zealand to play, they've got England to play, and they've got South Africa to play. Now, it might come to a situation where they have to win all 3 games. The way they're playing at the moment, and sorry about all this doom and gloom, but I can't see them winning all 3 games. Now, looking at the table at the moment, you've got India and New Zealand who are really ruling things at the moment. So they look good for the semi-finals. South Africa are probably looking good for that 3rd spot. So Pakistan, Australia, you know, they're going to be fighting for that 4th spot, but only if Pakistan can beat the likes of New Zealand, England, and South Africa. Let's see, going forward, it's going to be a tough ask for Pakistan after 2 really bad defeats. They need to turn things around. My biggest concern, though, is have they got the players to turn those things around? And I'm not sure they have. But with Pakistan, we keep on fighting, we keep on hoping, and we keep on believing in them. So fingers crossed, let's see what happens in these upcoming matches, because I think it's going to be quite tough for Pakistan to get through to the semi-finals. Thanks very much for watching, folks. Take care.